Good afternoon, everyone. As Chair and Vice Chair of Eurofamnet, we have the privilege to be also giving you some welcome words in behalf of the FUEL European Family Support Network. So welcome to all the attendees that are joining us today face-to-face. A great representation of the European Family Support Network and also key partners in the work we are producing, and also all the attendees that are following us today online. We would like to start by saying thank you and welcome to this high-level panel of presenters that we have today. I'm sure that we will have a really productive afternoon. And I would like to start saying that today we want to dedicate this event to the memorial of our college professor, Nevenka Segarat, who leave us sooner than possible expectedly, and that has been a key colleague and a key partner and a key friend, not only in the work that we are introducing today, but in the full pathway of Eurofamnet. So this event is in her memorial. Today we are addressing the challenge of addressing the European dimension of quality family support. And we consider this as a complex challenge because it has at least two phases that need to be named. First of all is that when we talk about family support, we talk about a responsibility that is addressed at the national level, that is delivered at the local level, but that has to do a lot with European frameworks, because we are talking about support to guarantee children's rights and to make possible successful well-being and development of children. And it's for that purpose that we need to have a coherent view in Europe regarding to family support. And also because when we talk about delivering family support, we are talking about a diverse range of resources and support that are trying to be culturally sensitive to differences between countries, but also requires to have a minimum standard to quality in order to avoid any inequalities among European citizens. And this is the challenge that the European Family Support Network has been addressing so far. We started initially in 2015 as an informal group of scholars, and we have been grown up since then. In 2019, we started to be funded formally by the Cooperation in Science and Technology Framework from the European Commission, and we have been since then establishing and building collaborations between researchers, policymakers, practitioners, and also children and families representatives. And what we have been trying to do so far is supporting rigorous bottom-up and interdisciplinary research focused on developing the field of family support with the purpose of making quality family support a right for all children. And for that purpose, we feel that we have the commitment to advocate for an evidence-informed child and family support policy and practice, and this event is a good example of it. In the last years, we have been covered, we could say, three core aspects that have been considered key research challenges in the European agenda of child and family support that has to do with developing the European conceptual framework and family support, and analyzing how family support is conceptualized and also provided in Europe, examining new realities and target needs. We have been also trying to progress in a more advanced, evidence-based and culturally informed approach that offers practitioners effective programs and practical toolkits that are relevant for a specific family context. And also we have tried to progress on a shared framework on skill qualification for family support workforce in the 21st century. And we have been doing this from a bottom-up process that starts from national and local realities, through a dialogical style that tries to include all the relevant voices that need to be here, paying particularly attention about what's the children and families' voice. If we want to make a real change in children and families' life, we need to follow this dialogical style. And following what we call a double-layer structure means that we try to have an iterative dialogue between the national and local levels and the European level.
So one of the fundamental points that we have to keep in mind with the work that we've been doing in Eurofamnet is that we start with the rights of children as our driving force. This diagram here is taken from our initial foundation document, and what it displays is the significance and the importance of having research, policy and practice working together. And it demonstrates that in the context of having research and policy together. Without the practice, we have no impact. If we have policy and practice together without no research, we have uninformed practice that may actually cause damage. And if we have research and practice together, we have isolated benefits and we don't have the policy change that we seek. So that's why we need them all together, and that's why we're here today to really talk about policy and have that impact on policy from our work. Particularly today we're interested in quality standards, and that's one of the directions we took at the end of the original cost funding period and in this cost innovation grant period. So really focusing on family support provision and achieving quality standards for that. And again, bringing into mind our colleague Nevenka and her leadership in the last round, looking at the workforce skills, ultimately leading to quality assurance in child and family support in Europe, which is what we're about today and what we will discuss today. So our agenda today, and you have it in your pack for those who are present in the room, and I think others have seen it. What we're going to start with, and we're really privileged to have inputs from colleagues from the Commission. So Stefan Ivkoski from DG Employment, Social Affairs and Inclusion, and he's a team leader on the European Child Guarantee, is going to talk to us about the Child Guarantee as an example of evidence-based policy making. And then we have Chrysoula Arkoudis, and she's from DG Justice, Consumers and the Rights of the Child team, and again looking at quality family-based care for integrated child protection systems following on from the recent recommendation. So following the input from our colleagues from the Commission, we then present the work of the Cost Innovation Grant, specifically focusing in two sections, one looking at the model for quality assurance which we've developed and implemented. Lucia Jimenez and Maria Jose Rodrigo will present on that, and alongside David Herrera, I will present on the policy guidelines that have emerged, which is one of the key objectives from the work. Again, we're privileged, and we have always been privileged in our network to have the involvement of policy and practice colleagues. And again, we will have feedback from Johanna Schema, who's head of the European delegation and vice president of Make Mothers Matter. And she is our coordinator on our policy and practice group. And she's going to give some policy and practice perspectives on what we've learned so far from our work. And then the closing remarks will be led by Arja Krauchenberg, and Arja is the project coordinator of the European Parents Association, and again she's a member of our policy and practice group. So we will finish formally at around 4:30, but we will then in person have an informal consideration of the points and the lessons and the issues we've identified in the afternoon's proceedings.